Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Well, welcome one, welcome all. I am Katie Patrick, joined by David Fiorazzo, and today let's head out to the potato state because parents in Idaho are furious after a school board meeting was abruptly ended by tyrannical board members as moms and dads showed up to protest a new gender policy that would allow students to use any bathroom they so choose. What's happening over in Idaho why are these parents so mad, David?
Potato. Okay, let me just jump halfway through the article and give you one quote from a sixth grader who said, simply said she did not want to change with boys or use the restroom with boys. And a sixth grader, which is speaking some sanity and common sense into the adult world of insanity today, said, I don't think that it's right for a boy who feels like he's a girl to change in the same room as the girls because it would make us all feel uncomfortable changing with a boy. All right, let's wrap up this segment, Katie. So the headline, Idaho School Board meeting ends in chaos over gender policy. The meeting was shut down. We'll give you details in a minute, but we've got a video. Watch.
You, under Idaho law, are required to maintain the morals and health of all the students. How can you do that when, like that little girl came up here and said, and you allow a male to use a female bathroom? You're going to put all of their moral health and safety at risk. And like I told you before, you will face litigation. You called that a threat. I'm telling you, that is what will happen. It's already happened in several states, and there's already been rulings on it. So before you waste taxpayer money, before you put a kid in harm's way, you better throw this policy out and not even consider. I've got the floor. Ms. Pacino, will you please listen to me?
Sir.
Yeah, you claim you want people to follow the rules, but you break the rules left and right. Last month, you allowed two people to speak.
We will recess
being
this
on the
meeting
list.
right now. All right, meeting has been adjourned. Meeting is adjourned.
What? What just happened?
What happened? Well, I know there was a cut in the video there, but so he was calling her out because while he was speaking, she was leaning over to say something to one of the other members there, and it's rude. It's like, all right, we've heard this kind of parent before that's just radical, doesn't want to go along with the new improved changes and the woke changes, or the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And Katie, just take it away.
Well, as you saw via the video, this was at the Caldwell School District. It's just west of Boise. For those of you who don't know your Idaho geography as well, you probably have heard of Boise, Idaho. So it's just west of there. And you saw how the president there was looking around, like basically probably trying to find a way out. And she apparently we found one.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is when you read the article, it says that one mom who appeared to be Hispanic said that we are conservatives, and then she called the policy indoctrination into a cult.
True.
And immoral child exploitation.
True.
She said it's a constitutional right of the parents to raise their children with their own moral values.
True.
And without the imposition of alternate lifestyles.
True.
Again, this is in Idaho, so
but it's not happening in my little town.
It's not happening in my little town. She
Yes,
also
it is.
continued, this is an attack on God and family. The educational system has become a pawn for destroying our children, Christian culture, and the guarantee of freedoms in our republic. So, David, you got some truth in you saying in all of that,
yeah,
don't you?
absolutely. I mean, amen to her, this, I'm guessing, young woman, if she's got a child in the school there. But yeah, these points, it's like you can wrap it up and say, all right, we'll go home, we're out. She just said it because it is indoctrination. They are forcing kids and people into a cult. It is cultish to force your ideology on an entire school. And it is immoral child exploitation. By the way, that gentleman that spoke up there mentioned safety. Mm-hmm. You're putting the children's safety at risk. why aren't we hearing more conversations about, especially fathers coming forward and says, you're thinking of allowing a boy, a biological male, to come into the same restroom or dressing room or locker room that my daughter is using? And this is not a safety issue. So they're just, go ahead.
Yeah, what's fascinating about this is if you listen to that speaker, his name is Chris Trakel, and he's actually an Idaho state senator whose district does include the Caldwell area. So he is the one who, you can tell it's maybe politically driven on both sides, both from Pacina, who is the school board president there, Mrs. Pacina, and that's who he addresses. And the fact that he says, before you waste taxpayer money, which I know every politician will talk about taxpayer money and how they will never waste it, but everyone else. But how he said, before you waste the taxpayer money and before you put a kid in harm's way, you better throw it out and not even consider it. And he talked about how he knows that you will face litigation on this. Like, so in a way, a politician is actually coming to the school's defense in essence to say, hey, I'm trying to protect you, the school, not like to get you into this whole mess. Like, so before you do it, don't do it. But so it's just fascinating to me how you have one time where you should actually listen to a politician and they're not going to, because she abruptly ended the meeting and they're probably going to just carry out their policy the way they want to.
And I hope they will. I hope they will face litigation on this, because this needs to be addressed, needs to be confronted. But again, what that conservative woman said, she said that this is an attack on God and family. And forgive me for being redundant again for saying, God created the heavens and the earth. He created mankind, male and female. He created two genders, right? So this is an attack on God when you're affirming something that does not support the biblical, biological, or I even would say scientific view of sex and gender. It is attack on God, and it's attack on families as well. So the conclusion of the article, it says, in recent years, school board meetings have become a battleground for parental rights. Thank God. Finally, more parents are waking up. We've seen the videos of school board meetings and them pushing back. Thank you. Exasperated parents around the country have shown up to the local school board meetings to protest progressive, Democrat, gender policies, even some claiming that the school transitioned their own children, without their consent, behind their backs. So parents have recently expressed their frustration, which is a good thing. As long as, again, we want to encourage you to do it respectfully, but let it out, man. Let it rip. Free speech. Let them know how you feel. It's an issue a lot of people are passionate about. And if parents are not passionate about protecting and defending not only their children, but the truth, that's why we have what we have here. So finally, there seems to be a little bit of pushback and turnaround.
All right, well, still to come, we have a drag show that's featuring people with Down syndrome in the United Kingdom, sparking outrage as many believe they are being exploited to push the Rainbow Mafia agenda. We're going to talk about that next. You know, we've always been told to not exploit the vulnerable, children, people with mental illness, anyone, elderly, anyone with some sort of vulnerability. But we do it all the time now, as we know, with our children specifically. And now the drag craze that is exploiting individuals with Down syndrome. We have talked about this actually before, but now we have a new promotional video for a UK drag show company comprised solely of individuals with Down syndrome. Let's take a little look-see.
I was born to dance.
From what I could see via more the website than that promo video, there is one female in this whole troupe, and the rest are male, because as we know, drag is 99.9% male. Why is that as well? Is a whole nother topic. But for this instance, as we know, we have Mashable, which is a UK media and entertainment company, and they tweeted out the nearly 10-minute video that was intended to promote the drag show known as Drag Syndrome.
Wow.
You know, I like my play on words. I like to have haha funny punny moments, if you will. When you write Drag Syndrome, I want to smack you upside the head multiple times.
Oh, you're being too kind.
I am.
You're being too kind.
But
This
is family television here.
This is really disturbing.
It is not.
It's heartbreaking for what they're doing to these people.
Yes.
And
well,
to
yeah.
exploit them like that, and to use what you said earlier. I thought the left was supposed to be compassionate. They boast they are the compassionate ones, but when it comes to the most vulnerable and people like this in our societies, you know, there's no excuse for this. But anything goes now, right? How often have we said anything goes once you remove God and remove truth? Anything goes, and this is what we're seeing.
You must affirm everything. The Drag Syndrome is a drag collective featuring highly addictive queens and kings with Down syndrome. The cast of Drag Syndrome is comprised of 10, and it even says, quotes, artists. Some of them named Davina Starr, Frozita Hong Kong, Lady Mercury, Lady Francesca, Aurora Shebang. Anyway, moving on, we have the performers, as you saw in the video, and just understand what the drag shows are. They dress up as members of the opposite sex. They dance provocatively on the stage alongside those who don't have physical disabilities. And the creative director of the show, Daniel Face, who goes by Shay Woolahan of Redux, I don't know, who also does not appear to have Down syndrome, said that sometimes drag is an idea you want to communicate. And back in 2018, he said, I didn't plan to work with artists with Down's syndrome. It found me. He doesn't even understand that it is Down syndrome. He wrote Down's syndrome. And that says even more about who this man is and the exploitation he is taking on these individuals.
Lord, help us, help us, help us, help us. I don't have anything more to add. This is one of those stories where you just look at, and to be honest, your heart kind of sinks a little bit, because you know that the level of depravity and evil in humanity to exploit other human beings apparently for profit, because we know that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So you're not only promoting an ideology, but there's money to be made, and there's what they're doing on social media and how they're trying to promote this. And it's just, I'm so saddened by this story. This one really hit me hard this week. Yeah,
and this man, whoever he is, probably did look at this as a way to make money. He founded Drag Syndrome back in 2018 as part of a larger project called the Culture Device, which purportedly aims to use improvisation and experimental electronic sound to push the boundaries of choreography whilst giving a professional platform for performers with Down syndrome. And then the troupe had some notable success over these years, and then they are currently now participating in the RuPaul's Drag Con UK 2023 in London, and they performed it back in 2020. I'm guessing it was before the world shut down. Drag Syndrome has also gone on tour throughout Europe, and they boast more than 550,000 TikTok followers. But as we know, TikTok is a cesspool of evil, and so you shouldn't even follow that. Anyway, coming up, we have more silly creepiness coming out of the UK, the Teletubbies.
Uh-oh.
Once the face of children's programming have now gone full woke, in case you didn't know Teletubbies were woke to begin with, they're joining RuPaul as an official sponsor of this year's annual drag show, so stay with us.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED. Educated. Support this show and a great American company.
I have a confession to make, David.
Yes.
I love Crocs. Come at me with it. But now I might not love them as much. You know what Crocs are? They're the little comfortable pillows on your feet that people who garden a lot are said to wear them, but I wear them year round. They're comfortable shoes, and they were cool before now the 12-year-olds wear them with their sweatpants. But I have always loved them until now, where the Crocs have betrayed me.
No.
Because RuPaul Charles's Drag Con, which is an exhibition basically of the transvestite culture, there was an exhibition back in LA in 2015, and now, this month, the exhibition returned to Britain, as we kind of just reported on, and for some reason, Crocs got involved. And oh yeah, the Teletubbies as well. Crocs and Teletubbies. Why? So Crocs and Teletubbies were sponsors for this year's Drag Con, which is supposed to be for all ages, and yet there are performers just walking around with fake sex organs exposed. But hey, the website said that Drag Con is an all ages, family-friendly event, and all are welcome at RuPaul's Drag Con UK. Kids 8 and under are free when accompanied by an adult with a ticket. Now, this is a convention that has men out there impersonating women, because it's Drag Con. It's going to be men. Right. 99% of the time, men impersonating women instead of women impersonating men. And it's going to have that usual sexualization to it, but it's for family of all ages, all families, all ages of the kids. There's children going to be performing in drag as well. Maybe that's what makes it family friendly, is the children performing in the drag. And they're going to, the adults are going to be there. They're going to hoot and holler at them.
Wow.
And hey, it's all going to be paid for by Crocs. The shoes, which have holes in them, most of them. The rubber type styrofoam, whatever you want to call them, shoes, whatever people call them, that I don't even know. But it's a soft cushion, and it's very delightful. And so Crocs is paying for it, but hey, why stop there, David, at Crocs? Why not have the Teletubbies involved as well? Yes, those Teletubbies. Remember those 4 creepy characters that were on the screens of all in all households way back when.
Well, I wouldn't say all households.
No, not my household. I guess I was too old for that. But yes, so it's a British show where they're supposed to be, teaching you colors and all these other things. But we should have known, David, when Tinky Winky, the purple Teletubby, was named Tinky Winky, that something like this would eventually come down the line, that they would be at this Drag Con sponsoring it and being all supportive of it. We should have known. There's Tinky Winky.
And I want to go down in the article over there at the Blaze. It says a lot of people on the left are turning children into fashion accessories. So that's a really interesting point. So to a lot, not all people of that persuasion, but they think, okay, they're an object. Deep down, we know that's not right. Despite growing resistance to the sexualization of children by men dressed as women in America, this problem persists. It's nonstop. I don't know where this is going to end. By the way, picking up on the story we just did on those with Down syndrome and really putting them up here, put them in drag and let's exploit that. The only thing worse I can think of, because they're, anyway, let's just say, think about going into a senior citizen center or someone, elderly people with dementia, Alzheimer's, they don't know who they are, where they are, but let's just.
The one in the White House or.
Yeah, let's just start exploiting them and putting them in drag as well, and then seeing how many views we can get and see how much money we can make. This is just, again, the root is evil, and this is the direction of our culture now, but so we're just repeatedly saying this is scary when you think of how the nation started to begin with.
But think about this. They actually went for the most vulnerable to begin with.
Yeah.
Our children.
Yeah.
Our children are our most innocent. And now they know, if I got the kids, I can do whatever I want, and the public is going to allow it. We made our children into pawns or accessories or toys or status symbols or whatever it is a long, long time ago. And so the people who are in charge of doing this with the drag and in the with the individuals with Down syndrome or the children here or any of that, they knew it was going to be easy sailing for them to happen because this has been going on and going on. And obviously they don't actually care about humanity. But hey, I do. David does.
Yes.
And we need a laugh at this moment. So you know what? Up next, we have our latest Babylon Bee headlines to discuss. So stay there.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the Freedom Project Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
All right, before we wrap this show up for the day, let's take a look at everyone's favorite satire site, the Babylon Bee.
Here are this week's top 5 Babylon Bee headlines.
So we picked our favorites, and now we'll decide which one should be Queen of the Hive today. Let's start with disagreement among progressives over whether the vax is the literal body of Fauci or just symbolic. Experts say they don't know what thing is causing everyone to suddenly collapse, but it's definitely not that one thing. Next, military to end vax mandate now that all the conservatives have been weeded out. I agree. Next, California is the state of freedom, says man who locked everyone in their homes for 2 years. And finally, man everyone mocked for raising chickens gets last laugh. Katie, I know what mine is, but I want your top pick.
I do have a definite winner this week,
Okay.
unlike last week when I was like, they were all so solid. I want to comment on the final one about the chickens.
Okay.
Because that would be my number 2, but that's just truth right there. Have you seen the prices of eggs right now? So you mocked the person who had, I'm going to raise chickens and get my own eggs. And now it's like, smart man. But my favorite was the hit it right on the nose there. It's not, we can't talk about the thing that may have caused the thing because we don't know what the thing is causing that everyone's starting collapsing and sadly dying. But it's definitely not that one thing. We can't say that. Not hit it on the nose right there. Just that one I thought was pretty good.
The thing that's suddenly
You know the
causing
thing.
young, healthy athletes to collapse, and some of them die. A lot of heart issues. Some of us warned that this was coming. But yeah,
was that yours too?
Yeah, I love the Fauci one was very good too.
Ouchie,
Yeah.
Fauci.
Yeah, the Fauci one was good. It's like, I don't know whether it's the literal body of Fauci because they worship the man.
He worships the
was
man.
God.
He worships
Yeah,
himself.
He worships himself.
He worships the man.
He was like held up to be a god. Let's do whatever he says.
And he's still holding himself up.
Oh my goodness.
It's true. Look it
All
up.
right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the headlines of this week, and of course, more satire coming next time.
Of course, if we didn't have
Of course.
satire, what would we have?
What would we do?
Just sadness and tears around here. So if you are a fan of our show and you don't experience all the sadness and tears and you get a little delight out of this, please do your little thing there and like, comment, share the video if you're watching us on social media. But for now, for David, for myself, thank you for watching and thank you for listening and thank you for supporting this show. Until next time, stay educated.